Besides the fact that David and I have been friends for so many decades that, soon the full hand will be used, it's kind of like how I feel about this election cycle. I just want to give it the whole hand. I know it sounds weird, but it really is going to come together by the time David finishes this part of the rant. There's nothing new, nothing changed, nothing to look over here. Seems to be an old age adage that doesn't really work anymore. You have to present things in a new light. It's kind of like taking yesterday's old, cake and turn it into mystery sprinkled colored donuts, which is what they did in a bakery years past, right? The same way they take all these multicolor recycled plastic and turn it into a color, but not clear. And those are people who understand the process of manufacturing. Or you can try and take an old concept and just give it a new wrapper, which is exactly what this political cycle has shown. Welcome to the podcast called The Rant Network. This is my co-host, David Solomon, as he rocks his head, or is he rocking his head against concrete? As we peel back layers of multitudes of topics, holding ideas. We said that all backwards. But did you be paying attention? But I did that intentionally because it's basically saying the same thing. We're here about raw, unfiltered dialogue that serves as an outlet to voice opinion, ideas, and share experiences from every corner of life, which include pop culture, politics, and quirks of existence. Whether you're venting over life's daily frustrations or things that are shaping our world today, we got you covered on the Rant Network. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern, unedited, unfiltered. Now, David, I started this rant with some twisted words, which I know it always seems to tickle your fancy. But there's reality to the way I started it. I talked about old topics and on taking old items and making them new again, kind of like recycling, right? We all get the concept of recycling. We take the old newspaper, we mush it all up, put it through a process, and make new newspaper. It's the same old newspaper, same old print, same old ink. I don't see the difference. David?
Stuart, you're on a track here, and it just happens to be that this week the Campbell Soup Company, after 155 years, decided it's changing its name. They're dropping the word soup. It'll be the Campbell Company. But they're doing the same thing. Dunkin' Donuts dropped donuts, but they're still selling freaking donuts. Okay? Kamala Harris is selling you the same donuts that she gave, that Barack Obama has been giving you, that Bill Clinton has been giving you, that Hillary Clinton's been giving you. There's nothing new, folks. And I know what you're saying. David, come on. Didn't you see how she was on Tuesday night? She went up to him and shook his hand. She looked presidential. She spoke with the reverence. Folks, Stuart and I have this lovely expression. When you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. And the pig that was on Tuesday night was Kamala Harris's ability to say whatever she wants, unabated, unopposed, unchallenged, unfact-checked. She could say whatever she wanted. And she pulled out the typical Democrat playbook. She claims her opponent is insulting, but she lied about him, trying to tether him to the Project 2025. His stance on IVF, a national abortion ban, and his economic policies, military, foreign affairs policies, everything she could lie about. But when it came to her talking about the serious subjects, what did you hear that was new? Vote for me, and I'm going to. You're going to what? Go to her website, Stuart, and you see she copied and pasted at the last minute Joe Biden-like policies. They were not even hers. The talking points. And my favorite one, my passion, Stuart, for what's going on right now in Israel, almost 350 days in. And what does she talk about? A Palestinian state. Refreshing, isn't it? To hear once again the same old mantras that previous presidents have been using because it sounds good. It's a great soundbite. And in light of what has happened since October the 7th, the damage that she causes, she doesn't care about. Because all they care about is getting elected. She learned from her boss, You insult Netanyahu, it's good. She denied the fact that she insulted Benjamin Netanyahu. She said there was, folks, if you could tell me something fresh. Yeah, I heard somebody tell me, David, Trump is proud of destroying Roe v. Wade, ruining women's rights. No, he followed the Constitution. Okay? And people can't stand when you use fact. So she says, "Oh, I'm gonna be the protector of women's rights. I'm gonna codify Roe v. Wade." Blah blah blah. Didn't we hear this before? When it comes up to economic policies, you'll see. Vote for me. I'm going to lower prices. But you denied. Like, what are you doing that's new? Throwing, Stuart, what I heard was I think it was $50,000 at potentially startup businesses. But how do they qualify? What do they need? What's that going to look like? Where are you getting the money? Stuart, the government spent double this month than what they took in. The interest alone is obscene. And I'm waiting for the plan. But let's bring sound bites from Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, anybody else, even Joe Biden. But there's nothing new and fresh, folks. If you package Dunkin' Donuts and Campbell's soup and you just change the name, you're still getting chocolate cream donuts. You still can get chicken noodle soup, but nothing's going to change. The recipe hasn't changed, Stuart. At least that's how I see it. Stuart, how do you, my friend, see Kamala Harris as the candidate? Because I know you didn't in the debate.
Well, let's first start with quotes. Yesterday's is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. That's President Johnson from his 1963 thing. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. Abraham Lincoln.
Ooh, she has a good scriptwriter.
Efforts and courages are not enough without purpose of direction. It's John F. Kennedy. I'm going to give you one more.
And these are all her quotes.
No, these are not her quotes. These are quotes. Famous presidential lines. Tell the truth, work hard, and come to dinner on time. General Ford.
Gerald, not General. Gerald.
Gerald. Why did I throw these quotes and I put them in the chat? Is because they're wonderful sounding cliches that grip and grab your inner soul and want to make you stand up, rise up, and be a part of something more than your own. And I thoroughly enjoy listening to the auditorial and the physical gestures of these politicians. Their conviction, their public speaking and oratory work is rehearsed beyond belief. And if you notice the tone of my voice and focusing on certain attributes with classic pauses, you understand that you're now listening to me more than you normally do when I talk like a normal person. However, the credibility of the person that is talking with that very articulate motion is someone who isn't being real, truthful, or honest. They're merely saying a script, a practice run, something that's learned, not from the soul, not from the heart, not from their mind, but from something that was told to them. In finance, there's something called an elevator pitch. And sales is other terminology for the same thing.
It's the same elevator pitch.
The value-added property that you have 30 seconds to deliver. What makes you unique versus your competition, and what you leave someone with as a memorable experience. That when something comes up, they think of you. They remember you. They know about you and how it relates to them. And I'm going to give one. For example, I don't sleep well at nights worrying about my clients and my clients' families. And the responsibility of managing their wealth with the utmost care is my only thought when I lay my head to sleep at night. Let me explain to you something. That's something that I put together. It wasn't given to me. It's said with actual, real conviction. It's real. If David asked me for that cliche, he would never be able to deliver it with the same conviction, the same demeanor, and mean it from the heart. It would sound sterile, practiced, and rehearsed. David, that honesty, the difference between that debate was between someone who went out just to attack you, to the sake of attacking you, not provide what I can do for you, but what you want to hear that I maybe should do or that you want me to do. I want to give you stuff for free. The government's here to help. What else do you want me to tell you? Sounds wonderful. I want to have 1 million new homes. I want to stop the rise of grocery prices. And I want to give everyone a home because everyone has the right to the American dream. Everyone has the right to have a home. So I ask you, why don't you move in with Nancy Pelosi? Why don't you move in with AOC? Why don't you move in with Kamala Harris and co? They don't want you. You're not invited. In fact, that's the scary part of the Democratic Party and the government today. They are not for the people, by the people. It's for them, for themselves, and how they can enrich themselves. That's why they can't be charged with insider trading. That's why they're not responsible. David?
You know, Stuart, I got to tell you, our spiritual leader would have been proud of the way you delivered those lines. But as somebody who spends his day talking and presenting and communicating, you're 100% right. You know, your voice, your cadence, everything is great. Does Donald Trump have that kind of cadence? No, he doesn't.
No.
His delivery, whether you like it or not, it's off the cuff. It's not really rehearsed, although, you know, do I love it? No. But the problem is that the people on his base love him. And the same way that people on the left or Democrats love Kamala. They're going to love Kamala no matter what she says. She could say the sky is green and we love Kamala. Where the problem lies, Stuart, is consistently after the debate, all of the media scratched their heads and said, you know, if you're on the liberal media, they went, yeah, all right, Kamala. Okay, undecided. How do you feel? And a lot of them said, not moved. In fact, the opposite. We don't like Donald Trump. We actually hate Donald Trump. But the man has policies. We were better off in his time than her time. We have a rare situation where we have two candidates who were the last two administrations. And you could compare easily 2017 to 2021 versus 2021 to today. And yet it's funny how she's standing there and going, when it's convenient, she's a Joe Biden, but when it's not convenient, oh no, none of this is my fault. ABC gave her the pass. We know that. We've heard that 1,000 times. If ABC could have challenged her, and this is why, if in true Fox does get the October debate, and I really hope that Donald Trump says yes. I know there's a lot of posturing, Nancy Pelosi-esque posturing that he's too chicken to do a debater again. But I got to tell you, folks, I hope that there's another debate because I want to hear what in God's name could she possibly deliver. What could she possibly say? Her team's going to say, don't bother with facts. Emotions matter. People love emotions. Please continue this way. And let the undecideds go, wow, 4 more years of this? Or I may hate the guy. I may think the guy's a lunatic. I may hate his demeanor. But man, I had more money in my pocket. I didn't have to worry about gas versus bread. That's the one thing. She says she cares about the middle class, but she hasn't shown one thing to help the middle class. Printing more money and giving away
creates inflation. You're the financial expert.
Mhm.
Nobody is paying. Is anybody paying attention that this is
Nope.
costing more and more every time she opens her mouth? It costs more and more. But that's okay because she's going to give us more money. From where? Not challenged. The moderators didn't challenge her. And as a result, the undecided were left with a lot of, let's use that food. I'm going to use another food example, okay? There was a lot of cream. There was a lot of dessert, but I don't see a meal. And
Nope.
it's great to get the sweet stuff, but it can make you sick.
David, like you politely said, there's someone out there that would appreciate my tone and my process, and that the ability does exist. On that note, David, I think it's time for us to move on to bigger, brighter, better things today. Because you know what? We have another day to enjoy. Have a good weekend.